today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about the altcoin season loading as the TOTAL2, Ethereum, and others are looking extremely well. And this is something that we should take a good look at, because this could be where basically the game-changing gains are being made. We're going to look at our spot light altcoins. We're going to look at MCAT, how it looks. We're going to look at VeChain. We are going to look at Ecomi as a token, but then also at Vivi as the project behind. We are going to look at all of this in the stream again, so make sure to stay all the way through. So, good morning, each and every one of you. I have the Bitcoin chart wrong actually here on, but we'll change that in a second. 1 second. So that we can look first of all how Bitcoin is looking, and then we are going to go to the altcoin straight. It's a Monday morning, of course. Things can change in an instant after the weekend. It seems that we are forming some kind of a bull flag here on the daily. If you're looking at this for Bitcoin, it just looks like some smaller version of a bull flag again. Probably if we drill it down into the 4-hourly, we can redraw this a little bit, and then we are seeing straight, right? Looks good. Probably Bitcoin is going for another move in the next couple of hours. Let's see. But these are 4-hourly candles. But it looks good overall. What do we have upcoming? On the 22nd, so tomorrow, we have Fed Chair Powell's speech. Maybe that's when the next action is happening. And then the rest is not really relevant. But the Fed Chair Powell speech can influence Bitcoin action. Let's quickly look at the signs. The signs are saying that the bull run is here. You see it here clearly in the sky, right? But we are going to look at more fundamental signs as well. But there is also an Ethereum sign like that, where you can see, okay, maybe the bull run is on, right? So let's look at that directly, right? So we have Ethereum here, and this pattern we will zoom out in a second. But look at Ethereum, $3,770. It was peaking above with the wick, but we are basically at upper resistance once again here for the macro Ethereum pattern. Look at this. Very clean. 1, 2, 3, 4 touch points. Here is the next one. And on the bottom side, we have 1, 2, 3. If we were to break out here, we are looking roughly at the target of $7,500 for Ethereum. So that would be about a 100% move. And of course, looking at the weekly, this can take some time, right? We can get rejected slightly here and then try to push through in another week, right? But it also can happen tomorrow and we just form a big fat new weekly candle above it, maybe then retest and fire away, right? So a good question, Penguin. What is going to move more and sooner? So I would say more Ethereum, sooner maybe Bitcoin, right? Because of the flag pattern that we see, which is closing in. So that probably and very likely tomorrow there is at the latest a move out of Bitcoin, right? So I would say Bitcoin a little bit sooner, but Ethereum definitely harder. Yeah, once and if the breakout happens, right? Nothing happens before the breakout, but I would say Ethereum maybe a little bit later, but harder. We do see this pattern. We are observing it since a long time. Once it breaks out and flies, it's basically altcoin season, because it will drag down the Bitcoin dominance much more. And we have already fallen quite significantly from 65 all the way down to 61%. So this is a bigger fall than we had before. Let's look at this on the this is a bigger weekly candle, right? So altcoins are already moving. We are already here in position, right? We have a small bounce, but nothing crazy in comparison to this one where we rallied again. This looks very hard to the downside, right? So this might be, and I say might be, right, the actual start of the altcoin season. I will show you why in a second. So one indicator, of course, is Ethereum looking great here and ready for a breakout, which would lead the altcoin season, right? Second, looking at Google search trends, we do have a little bit of a pullback on the search term for Bitcoin, but look at the number for Ethereum. It's at 9. Never in this cycle we had Ethereum at 9. This is the highest score that Ethereum ever had in this cycle, right? Here is 7, 8. This was the highest. March 2024 was the highest search term for Ethereum, and then we only had 7 or something like that. So 9, we are really coiling up here for Ethereum. If it breaks out, very likely we are getting double-digit scores on the Google search trends for Ethereum, because people see Ethereum rallying quite. I mean, you have to see Ethereum did rally from the lows in April a whopping 172%. Of course, people are looking up what is going on, because the story before was, hey, they don't know what they're doing, they are not scaling correctly, and so on. And suddenly it did change, right? And the other factor here is ETH is outperforming BTC. Of course, we saw the Bitcoin dominance falling, right? And Bitcoin and Ethereum is the largest altcoin. So the altcoin moving like this, outperforming BTC, gives us a nice reversal chart pattern here on the Ethereum side. So that is, besides the Ethereum chart, this is number 2. And then with the Google search trends that on all-time high for Ethereum in the cycle is number 3 as an indicator, right? Bitcoin dominance itself, number 4, right? And then let's look at the TOTAL2. The TOTAL2 is closing in on its previous all-time high, and actually, because we're looking at monthly candles here, we are at all-time high candle close right now for the TOTAL2. If we go down one more time frame down to the weekly, we do see that we are already in the 5th green week since this bounce here, and we are closing in on the weekly side to the neckline. It's not much more is needed out of the altcoins to go to the previous all-time high of 1.62 trillion. Yeah, which is the weekly candle body all-time high, which is the cleanest here, right? If you go with the wicks, you don't go for you don't have the cleanest. If you go on a monthly, you don't have the cleanest yet, right? So this is the cleanest neckline that we have. So we are going with this, and let's see how this is going to unfold here. Of course, it can take a little bit more, but then once it is at the neckline, I would say the moment that we're breaking out above this previous all-time high, that's when the altcoin season really gets nuts, right? Because that means collectively coins are probably going to break out, right? I mean, just take as an example, take Pendle here or so, right? Trying to break out already. If you take this downward sloping resistance line, Pendle here is trying to break out. But quick look at the Rare Hodler fam. I mean, there is a bunch here, so thank you very much to each and every one of you who is supporting this channel. I see Green Lantern GM Boys, happy times ahead. I see Mewtwo. What is this? What is this meme smiley even? I see Troy Paris. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you, man. Green Gang, absolutely. Don't you think Ecomi coin is a scam? Andy woke up and chose war. Let's put it that way. That is trying to choose war with the Omi fams. Chris Thomas is also here. Good morning to you. Long time no see, I think, at least. We are coming to Ecomi later, and then we can discuss this as well, right? But we will look at it from a more, let's say, more bird's eye view. But okay, so the altcoins on the daily are looking extremely nice. If you see it here, I mean, of course, there are some like CFX, Conflux that are just pumping today. Don't be disappointed if your coin is not pumping today. The collective move is really good as a setup, and then from there multiples are happening, right? NFTs seem to be heating up a bit. Oh wait, there we go. Sorry, you couldn't see that. That 10 million buy of punks was crazy. Oh yeah. So I also saw that, and the narrative is being pushed on the NFT side, and there's something interesting on the NFT side, on the VV charts, and we can jump a little bit here today since we're talking about alts and NFTs anyways. The funny thing is that despite all that, NFT is still at a 1 at the moment, right? Maybe tomorrow it's already heating up a little bit more, but let's go to before we go to Omi chart or so, we have this here from Raul Pal. Saying, you know, you need an NFT collection. I've explained this to you. To start, either buy a CryptoPunk, or if you can't afford one, then buy a Crypto Dickbutt. Your future self will thank you. So the NFT narrative is being pushed, and I mean, we can check it out here a little bit more. What's going on? But here we see it. The NFT market cap just pumped 17%. In a day from 5.1 to 6 billion, so 900 million total. And then we see here, I think this is the exchange. What was the name of that exchange? I even have this. Was it like Rare? No, it was not, right? What was the name of that exchange? I forgot. I even do have the token. I did forget about this. This is when you have too many tokens, but some of you will remember. But CryptoPunks plus 15%, Pudgy Penguins 3%, Bored Ape Yacht Club 6%. Also interesting, right? The classic ones are moving as predicted, by the way. If you were subscribed to this channel, you would know that, yeah. But then also a lot of stuff that I've never seen, never heard of. Here, by the way, we also have that. And then all these, like, if you are in the community here, this the dick butts, I think, right? They are a little bit up. But we did not buy any, or at least I did not buy any of those, right? So that is happening in the NFT sphere. And then it seems here we see also, so every big site with a lot of followers is pushing that, right? And we see the old faces again, and that was a couple of weeks ago. It was dead, right? Now it's not. So this is where VV also needs to get in the mix. Here also insane ETH NFT trade volume yesterday. So here we see it, daily volume past 3 months in the comparison, bam, massively up. Moving it a little bit to the side, you can see NFTs moving like there are NFT treasury vehicles on the horizon. Say it, NFT bull market, here we also see it, right? Everything in the green. This is just the first spike, and probably they are going to see a little bit of a downside because the attention will go back to, like, Bitcoin might be more to the end of the move already, maybe not, right? Maybe 150, 180k. But we do see transactions on this stuff, right? So it's happening, right? And then all the scammy things will come back, right? Giving away this and that, post wallet address, whatever people do, right? So that for the NFTs. So is VV waking up, right? Some people are trying to start the bull run on VV as well. We have Ray Fixie back in the game. Let's make VV official great again. Who is in with me? Time to bring the magic, the hype, the energy, and the good vibes back. Drop a fire if you're ready to level up and make it awesome. Let's go, says Ray Fixie, right? Now, on the immuter scan, there's something interesting, and that is this. Just happened. The owner's number from a minimum 1 NFT on VV jumped from 500 here on July 17th, 499, to 633, or now 630, within a couple of days, or within 2 days actually, right? Which is interesting. This is 132 new users, or let's say new non-zero wallets on VV. Quite interesting. So is there someone, or are there people coming in and buying up some just in case, right? Just in case the NFT run catches on. I mean, we can see people are minting stamps. So this is happening right now. Stamps being minted, or at least this is 40 minutes ago. Maybe we'll just refresh that and see if that minting is still going on or what's going on. But quite some action on the market, right? Okay. People buying Superman. Let me go move that exactly so that you can see everything. So we see either a mint or a transfer here for VV. We see comics Superman stamps being minted, comics being minted. Quite something in the last minutes, to be honest. Golden Grenade was bought up. It seems to me subjectively that there are a lot of mints because this is available in the store, so some people are just, or someone is just, I mean, it's the same wallet, right? Someone is going nuts on these, which is quite interesting, right? Daredevil Secret Rare bought up from the first Daredevil. Here also Spider-Man Secret Rare. Someone's buying, or people are buying some serious comics here, as we see, right? This is all in the last hour. Just to showcase this a little bit, what is going on here, right? Troy Burris says, my coins never pump. I wish I had bought those penguins in the bear market. I love penguins. I did see my vault jump up today also. Lots of floors getting bought up. Yeah, exactly. So this is my theory is that Vivi has enough knowledge and presence, and people are speculating enough on the bull run, and the community is big enough that there might be some also dormant people coming back and trying to load up before it happens. That could be happening. I'm not saying it is, as the data here is not enough, but it could be happening, right? We know that Sol and ETH dominate the NFT market. It will be interesting to see if OMI is a deal breaker for NFT collectors, or if OMI will get the traction and traffic that we're hoping for this cycle. It's not only that, right? OMI is on base, so the question is of if base can happen, right? Or if base can make it happen. OMI is my only token that hasn't moved at all. Yeah, absolutely true. And that is, let's say, concerning at the least. Let's quickly move here out of the daily to see. Yeah, so OMI is right now, since a long time already, around this 0002 range. It is a little slightly more green going back into the daily here. Slightly more green, and we are hoping for some kind of a reversal here, right? And we don't have it yet. And it's really time, because right now, and this is what I said, Bitcoin dominance is falling, and OMI should be moving at some point as well, right? And right now, okay, it's up a little bit from these absolute lows here, right? So it's up 12%, but not enough, not good enough, right? Because also you see this downtrend just here unfolding. So yeah, there needs to be more traction on OMI, right? And you get more traction in finding some bullish stuff or so where people buy up OMI. And of course the selling needs to stop, right? The seller side needs to stop. Yeah, so that is what is necessary here. Let's say let's put it like that. I promise that we go for to look at one or the other altcoin. Now I'm trying to find if I have it already open here. Going for, that's BTC1. Maybe I can destroy another chart. There we go, the Pendle one. So looking at, maybe looking at Pengu first. As Pengu, even though it's not in spotlight yet, as we do have, that's actually not, wait a second, what is the ticker for Pengu? Is it that? It's not, is Peng, or is it Pengu? No, it's Pengu, right? Gate.io, is that it? That's Peng. That's not the same, right? Let me check quickly. Where is, there? Yeah, it's Pengu. Okay, let's open this in the chart. There we go. That's a better chart. Yeah, that is a better chart. And Pengu basically broke out of this cup and handle, right? So this is why I'm so bullish also on these pattern. I mean, look at this, bam, right? Nice breakout, back to all-time highs. The whole move, is 850%. That's basically a 10x. Yeah, PH, make it stop. Yeah, absolutely. We need to stop winning on OMI, right? We can't take it anymore, Mr. President. Yeah, so Pengu really nice, but Pengu also kind of, it already did a 10x from there, right? So the question is, which coins could we see that do not have this? And that would be, for example, it also pumped quite some, but here MKate, right? MKate seemed to be breaking out to the upside of this falling channel. Retest in the making. Overall, it has spent its entire time in this accumulation range, where even you could argue that if this turns out to be a cup and this a handle, right, you get the same pattern. So let's see, we need to come back to this all-time high, and then from there the breakout, right? But this could be really this could be a really, really nice coin. Then we also like to look at Devi. Let's look at Devi. Which one did we look at? I think maybe Gate.io. Yeah, there we go. Devi still finding its support here. By the way, same, right? Boop, boop, question mark. But needs to come out and pump, right? There needs to be needs to come out now, turn around and pump, but maybe a little bit later. I did find something interesting. Where is that from? I think it was here. Yeah, this is from Devi. Top 16 fastest blockchains by max recorded TPS. So here's Devi. And that's the rest. So on the TPS side, apparently, it's a whole new story. Let's put it that way. I mean, in the end, no one cares, right? People want to have that amount of pumpermental, right? And I think in terms of pumpermental, MKIT is insane, right? Insane. But Devi definitely has the potential here, right? To go nuts, but still didn't really convincingly turn around here. But we do see that. I mean, if it pumps, this one went 13x more. Yeah, so it looks like a turnaround, right? It seems to have found its bottom. Now it's turning around. DevCoin of Randy. What makes it different than the rest? PH. It's not from Randy, actually. It's just that I think it's from Crypto Rain. He came up with this. And as well as MKate, I first heard about from Ron, right? Ron's Cryptotherapy. So if I see a coin and I like, in principle, how it looks, then I include it into, hey, let's watch it. And there are a lot of people coming from those streams here to ask about those coins. So that's what makes it different, right? So of course, to me, it's different than whatever cat and horse coins there are out there. And they have, like, there are fundamentals behind this one, right? So gotta get it somewhere. What makes the difference 1 sec or 1/10 sec for users? Yeah, that exactly. So the question is the transaction speed, is it relevant for end users? It's only if it serves the use case and you can push a narrative with this, right? I mean, a lot of blockchains are fast, and in the last cycle, these layer ones especially, they basically wanted to show that there's no congestion, show the speed, and have the speed as a differential so that projects would come and build on them, right? And then investors would go, this one's faster, I don't know, like ICP was supposed to be extremely fast because like the whole internet's supposed to build on that, or there is another layer of the internet building on that's basically the proposition. For other blockchains, it's just like, hey, we don't need any layer 2 scaling solutions for you. You can build right here. But to be honest, it's still, I mean, Ethereum might be slow, but it's still the most used and trusted one. Doesn't have downtimes and so on. So that's really where I think enterprises, companies, whatever, are looking for, right? And it's also why, let's see, I have this also somewhere here, because that's what Trump's World Liberty Finance is basing on. If you're seeing like, okay, Trump, if you consider this Trump's portfolio, then you could say Trump's portfolio is 93% ETH. The man isn't stupid, he knows what's coming. Retail, still waiting for confirmation at 6,000, right? Okay, it's all debatable what has been said here, but the only thing that is not debatable is that World Liberty Finance is sitting on a fat stack of Ethereum. So, are we popping off Gangster Fart says we're popping off again on Crip. We do see in general that altcoins having a good time. Altcoins are fed up on the week. I still do think that this is only the beginning. Going back to BTC dominance, we do see it's going again, right? It's going down again. We're approaching the 60 mark. And here, basically on the monthly, we see it now. It's the most significant and decisive candle to the downside. So alts should be moving right now. And Ecomi is one of those that should be moving right now. And that is what we're looking for, right? That all of our alts move and do 5, 10, whatever X, right? Got Litecoin at 102. Congratulations. How is it doing, by the way? How is it doing? Litecoin. LTC USDT. Oh, actually, we did look at Litecoin a while ago. It seems. Let's look at what we did draw in here. We did draw in all the bounces on the massive long term. Interesting. I think it was more to say, okay, we have a lot of bounces and this needs to hold. But it's always funny to we pull it up from time to time and then we draw something in and then we come back to it. It's like, what the heck did we draw there? But so far so good, right? We said, okay, here's the next bounce, I guess, and we did bounce. So now the question is, can Litecoin go through this overhead resistance at roughly, I would say it's more a zone here, right? Basically this zone. Pull it up a little bit there, right? That is where it needs to break through, 120 something. I call it altcoin trap season. It's the norm for us. H bar to the moon, 150 minimum. H bar USDT. Yeah, we did bounce here exactly at that level. Also here we did draw in some stuff a while ago. Approaching for H bar, next level ish at somewhere here, right? It's not that concise and clean, but I think it's the 36 mark or so where you would approach some resistance. This could be a little bit interesting, but if this is a neckline, right, then this could evolve into this, right? Inverse head and shoulders, and then boop. Yeah, you are not wrong. 150 could happen. Absolutely. Yes, good consolidation on nice potential. Need an LTC ETF to stabilize it. I think there is it's set for August or somewhere September, where all these altcoin ETFs are coming, and I think there's also Litecoin ETF in it. But yeah, very interesting to see that. By the way, we did not look at VeChain yet to see how VeChain is doing. It seems to be, completing. It seems to be completing its here. It's let's say mid time pattern here. After we already popped off in the first instance here, we do have something like a double bottom going on here, which would be then confirmed once we break through this. Here, it's basically breaking 3.1 cents to 3.15, somewhere there. So that would be good for VeChain. VeChain is up on this move 60% almost. So let's see. It does not want to push through 3. Yeah, VeChain, but it will. It will. I mean, we have already reached 8 cents in December last year, and this was, in my opinion, only the beginning. But it will come around, I think. Once Ethereum breaks out on its chart, it's time, right? Once Ethereum breaks out against USDT, that's where most people are looking at. Then it's time, and that could be any day, right? I mean, we are basically trying as we speak. We are at 3795 on the daily chart. So Ethereum is looking for the breakout right now, and we might get our breakout, then a retest, and so on. That will take some time. I think we are going into a nice rally here for altcoins if this happens. If ETH 15k valuation feel too high, for me it's too high, because I mean, you have to imagine the money necessary to make that happen. I would look at a target. I'm looking at the target at the moment of 7,500, and then we will see how the indicators look on that scale, right? You can see the excitement even in the chat. Absolutely. You can see it. Sui, please. Yes, Sui USDT. You can see the excitement. Sui is looking good, I would say. Ooh, what is that? Oh yeah. We did have some macro megaphone going on, but the more important thing was this support. We did find support twice on it, coming up. Looking at a mini cup and handle here. Mini is good, right? It's not that mini because it's unfolding since the beginning of the year, but in my terms of time frame, something like this, right? If we break out, it flies to 543, challenging all-time high, and then all of this. Basically, we can get rid of this for now. More importantly is that for Sui, here's the all-time high, right? Break this, and then you will challenge and break the all-time high out of this very likely. Let's see if we go out of the logarithmic and we say cup and handle is going to break out here, then you would, you would go to new all-time highs, right? So break this, retest this, go for this. You would make, only going back to all-time high, a 30% move. Looks nice. I like it. I accidentally bought 33% of ETH at 230 in 2019 or 20. Craziest $80 invest ever for me. Winchester, welcome to the channel. God candles are coming. Nice. Yeah, I think so. Everything is, I mean, everywhere you look, it's looking at a really nice setup, right? I mean, look at this mega cup and handle at the altcoin market. We only basically need another what is that? Another 100 billion. 100. 100 billion or so. Not trillion, but billion to get to this. Not much money in these terms anymore. It sounds so much, but it actually isn't. Same on the TOTAL2. So this is excluding Ethereum. Also here we do have our neckline, our cup and handle, our bounces on the uptrend. Also here closing in for the breakout, and then the most important chart for many of us is the others chart, and here we are still further away. So the smaller ones are lagging behind, but look at the volume on the others that is coming in here. But the smaller coins, they are lagging far behind. You see the small caps, they are they are much more away from the all-time high than the large caps, and that's normal, right? TOTAL2 is the closest, makes sense. Ethereum is the first to move. TOTAL3, led by Solana, is very close, makes sense here. Still, the big caps are, the large caps are shaping the environment, but here we do not have Bitcoin, we do not have ETH, we do not have Solana, we do not have XRP in the mix, we do not have Chainlink and so on. We do not have stable coins. Here is only place 11 to the downside, and of course it's behind, but they are moving in the right direction. This is good. Yeah, we did not lose, if you want to look at this, the macro trend, right? Macro trend not lost, right? But let's leave this in here for this trend line and see that we are coming above. So that is important. What is and was concerning was this, right? And now it's the big question is, this is the, just to explain, this is the others dominance, right? So how much the small caps are dominating the market. And this was a very long established pattern since basically, since 2017, right? This was in it. And then when we had our altcoin pump, we were still in it bouncing, and then we fell out of it, right? And now the question is, will the others still regain some dominance, or will the small caps lose compared to the rest of the market, right? That is the question. Will we get a bearish retest, or will we pump back in, right, into this and form a new pattern? Maybe we form a new pattern, right? Who knows? Which I cannot see yet, right? For me, this is very, very decisive. I don't really see this pattern yet, other than you could argue, maybe you could start arguing, let's make this another color just for the argument's sake. Maybe you could start arguing something like falling channel-ish thing, but not really clear and concise yet, right? I mean, there is nothing, something like that, but this is dominance, right? So what the most important story that is told is that the small caps are losing the dominance, right? You think it's true that crypto is starting to correlate with the S&P and stock market? I thought Trump coin yesterday we up one. You bought Trump coin yesterday up $1. Congratulations. Goodbye. First part of your question, you think it's true that crypto is starting to correlate with S&P 500 stock market? I mean, let's see. Can we pull up the total crypto market cap? I mean, we can check that, right? It's not that hard to check. By the way, that was apparently a long time the prediction how it should be going. Not going that exact. But what is exact is that the total market cap, look at this, has this cup and handle breakout retest continuation going on like Bitcoin, right? Of course, because Bitcoin is the best, the biggest. Back to your question. Wait a second. What was the Nasdaq? Wait a second. I have to check in my other charts if that's the right one to bring in here. If I would still have this up, okay, it should be the right one, right? Shit. I have to. That was wrong. I have to put it in a new price scale. Also. We are on non-logarithmic. Let's see if that works. New price scale. There you go. You tell me, does this look like crypto is correlated since always to the stock market? And I'm coming to the answer in a second, right? But I would say yes, right? Of course it is. But maybe it's not. Maybe the stock market and crypto are correlated to the same thing. Okay. S&P 500, SPX. There we go. New price scale. Here's your S&P 500, right? Let's make this. Can I change the coloring? Doesn't matter, right? Dark blue S&P 500, Nasdaq, Bitcoin, or crypto total market cap, okay? So they all turn around at the same point. They all find their bear market bottom at the same point. They all correct at the same point. Here. They all pump at the same point, right? Do you see something? Yes, it's correlated, but not to each other. It's correlated to M2. It's correlated to global M2. As M2 is expanding, all of these are expanding because there is more money flowing into all of these assets. Let's see what gold says to the story, right? Gold in green. Not that good of a performance, but it doesn't matter, right? Even gold is a little bit. Still the macro rises are there, right? Here it's a little bit pre. But still, you could argue that if this is M2, that's your correlation long term, right? Gold, nice jump right now. Yeah, good question. Let's look at gold here. But okay, so this is the total gold in general. Oh, now we have everything overlay that we don't want. Let's get rid of all of that and also of that. And there we go. Gold seems to be wait a second. Some bull flag things going on here, maybe. Gold could definitely go on. We did have gold. Here. This is one thing that I drew in a while ago, the gold parabola, and where the move happens from, we did call it here, right? That the move happened from risk off to risk on, right? So once people did not buy at the same speed anymore, gold, institutions, people, whatever, and we broke the parabola, that was actually when Bitcoin started firing again, and that is where altcoins are firing again. So I think that theory is correct, that now the risk off phase has stopped and people are moving to the riskier thing. At the same time, S&P 500 and Nasdaq are going to new all-time highs, so that makes sense, right? That correct connection makes sense. I don't know about SLV, even though it's recommended by a lot lately. The history is way more risky and but they said it was due to heavy manipulation back then. Like, why won't it happen now? Good question. Have you checked out Purple People? No, I did not. I have not checked that out. But anyways, guys, make sure to smash up the like button here on the stream. We have 30 people here for Monday morning. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Notifications on, guys. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but unfortunately I have to jump because there are other things waiting. So we did cover a lot of altcoin stuff, less Bitcoin stuff today, but I think this is how the rest of the year probably will go, mostly. If you're interested in that, make sure to be subscribed here. Other than that, I would say wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. I catch you in the next live stream or video. Bye.